The fire of Agnipath protest rages on. The government has already deployed 3 service chiefs to the fiery front lines. They are now countering misinformation about this new recruitment scheme with facts, and they have spoken first on India Today. Have a listen.
They haven't fully understood the contents and the implications of the scheme, and that is why there are some apprehensions in their mind. But once they have fully understood the contents of the scheme, I'm sure that they will realize it is not only for their good, but also for the good of the nation and good of the Indian Army.
The government has recently announced the Agnipath Scheme for enrollment in the armed forces. This change would permit a larger section of the youth to enroll as Agniveers.
Nation के लिए कुछ करना है. That is what the ethos of this whole scheme was, to ensure that we build a nationalist ethos among the youth who serve for 4 years. They are empowered, they are educated, they get enriched, they get a seva nidhi, and then when they go out, he's very young at that point of time. Imagine joining at 17 and a half. When you're going out, you're only about 22, and that age, the world is yours.
Now, the state that is really bearing the brunt of many of these youngsters, these young army aspirants who've now gone rogue. They burnt train bogies, stations completely vandalized, roads that were blocked as the Bihar youth, most of them who are protesting unemployed, took to the streets from Samastipur, Nalanda, Begusarai to Buxar. Violence rocked Bihar like never before. 1 death has been reported in those protests as well. In fact, while in Betia, Bihar Chief Minister Renu Devi's residence was also vandalized. The opposition, RJD, has now called for a statewide bandh, while Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar's JDU has sought for a review of the recruitment scheme. In fact, the JDU also appeals to the government to rethink on the Agnipath scheme as the state burns.
Large-scale violence is being witnessed here in Bihar, various parts of the state, but these are live pictures which we are showing you from the ground. This is the Kulharia railway station in Ara district of Bihar. This is just about 15 kilometers away from Ara. This is the Kulharia railway station, and you can see how 4 coaches of the Patna-Ara passenger train have been set on fire here. And now you can see this train has turned into a burning train, and these are live visuals which we are playing out for our viewers, that the 4 bogies of the Patna-Ara intercity have been torched here by the mob. Thousands of angry protesters gathered here just a half an hour back, and they were protesting, and later they found this train which was vacant. No passenger was there at that point of time, and they set on fire 4 coaches of this train, and this train has now turned into a burning train, and now the fire tenders have been brought here to contain the situation, to contain the fire here and to douse it. And extremely difficult situation here on the ground. Very serious and grave concern being raised as to why railways are being made the soft target, because remember in January also, when the railway agitation was going on, Bihar emerged as the epicenter, and that point of time also railways was the most soft target. And now once again during these Agnipath agitation also, we are seeing that railways have become a soft target once again, and we can see how this entire 4 coaches of this train are set on fire. It's burning, and the remaining coaches of this train have been now detached from the part of the train which was torched here by the mob here, and the situation on the ground is extremely tense. And this is not only at the Kulharia railway station where we are seeing that this kind of a violence has taken place, or the agitating students have indulged into burning of trains and vandalizing government property. In Samastipur also, 3 coaches of a train have been set on fire. And in Lakhisarai, the Vikramshila Express which was there, it was also vandalized by the agitating mob there. So since morning we are seeing that massive violence is being reported at many places, and railway stations, trains are emerging as the soft target. And here you can see live pictures here that how this train, the Ara-Patna passenger train, is burning here. It has been set on fire and only goes on to show the situation on the ground.
जो हमारे पास फोर्सेज उपलब्ध थी वो सभी जिला को दी गई हैं और जिला ने भी अपने रिसोर्सेज को पुल इन किया है, लेकिन जो विरोध का जो क्वांटम है वो कुछ ज़्यादा है आज कल की तुलना में, और काफ़ी लोग इसमें आ गए, कुछ असामाजिक तत्व भी लोग इसमें जुड़ गए हैं और छात्र के अलावा। तो आज भी कुछ जिलों में तोड़फोड़ की घटनाएं घटी हैं, आगजनी की भी घटनाएं घटी हैं। हम लोग पूरा प्रयास कर रहे हैं उसको नियंत्रण करने के लिए और कुछ जगह बल प्रयोग भी किया गया है, कुछ लोगों की गिरफ्तारी भी की गई है। तो आशा है कि हम लोग इसको नियंत्रण कर लेंगे।
All right, Sujit joining us from Danapur, Bihar. Sujit, you witnessed to the large-scale protest that we saw. What's the current situation in Bihar and parts of it? We know many of the trains have been cancelled and the government is trying to deploy large-scale police force to stop these protests. But yet doesn't seem like the youth is convinced with all the clarification the government has given. Are we looking at the protests to continue? This was second day. Will it go on?
ये तीसरा दिन है जब ये प्रोटेस्ट चल रहा है बिहार में, और जहां तक पुलिस व्यवस्था की बात है तो हम लोगों ने देखा कि दानापुर में जब ये अटैक हुआ हमारी टीम वहीं पर मौजूद थी, और जिस तरीके से वहां पे पुलिस जो खड़ी थी, खासतौर पर आरपीएफ और जीआरपी जो कि रेलवे की पुलिस है, उन्होंने एक तरह से रास्ता दे दिया उन्हें अंदर जाने के लिए। और वहां पर जो वेंडलिज्म हुआ, जो तोड़फोड़ हुई, जो लगातार जिस तरह से वहां पर आगजनी हुई, फरक्का ट्रेन को जलाया गया, 3 और ट्रेन जो यार्ड में खड़ी थी, 2 एक पैसेंजर और एक ये।
हाँ, हम देख रहे हैं क्या हुआ है सुजीत, मगर कल आंदोलन जारी होगा क्या? गवर्नमेंट कुछ कर रही है ये बंद करने के लिए?
बिल्कुल, देखिए आरजेडी ने कॉल किया है बिहार बंद का इस अग्निपथ स्कीम के खिलाफ, और उनका ये साफ कहना है कि इस स्कीम को वापस लिया जाए। जो पहले की व्यवस्था थी सेना में भर्ती होने की, वो व्यवस्था होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि जो पिछले 3 सालों से जो वैकेंसी नहीं निकल रही थी सेना की, और बच्चे जो है, युवा जो है वो तैयारी कर रहे थे उसकी, रोज सुबह दौड़ लगाते थे, फिजिकल करते थे, कई एनसीसी पास आउट है जिसमें प्रेफरेंस मिलता है सेना में भर्ती होने के लिए, वो तमाम चीजें खत्म कर दी जा रही है। इस वजह से नाराजगी है और इसको लेकर जो है ये आंदोलन काफी उग्र होता जा रहा है। लगातार हर दिन ये ज्यादा तीव्र गति से बढ़ रहा है, और आप देखिए तो आज के दिन जैसा कि केवल दानापुर रेलवे डिवीजन में 50 बोगियां जलाई गई हैं विभिन्न जगहों पर, केवल दानापुर डिवीजन में, और 7 इंजन में आग लगाया गया।